professional sales in 2004. What was it called? Technical sales? Technical sales back then. And a Master of Science in Business Administration from Colorado State University in 2010. While at Weber State, Brody was the student body president, member of the Weber State Board of Trustees, chairman for the Special Olympics Committee, and represented Weber State in many volunteer organizations in the community and in Washington, D.C. as an intern for Senator Orrin Hatch. Also, while at Weber State, Brody was awarded the Crystal Crest Man of the Year Award, which I've always wanted to get, but I just never seemed to make the grade there. So, a little jealous. Upon graduating, Brody immediately joined the medical device sales profession and has worked for Fortune 100 medical device companies in sales and marketing, primarily focused on surgical removal of cancer, gastric bypass surgery, and robotic surgery. Most of his career has been working for Medtronic, where he currently works with Utah surgeons, nurses, and hospital administrators. While living in the state of Washington, Brody remained engaged with Weber State. He served as president of the Weber State Pacific Northwest Alumni Chapter, which held many alumni gatherings and sporting events such as the Portland Trail Blazers, Seattle Mariners, Oregon State football, and Portland State basketball. And also gets to see one of our other famous alumni, which we can talk about. Lastly, Brody and his wife Jennifer, whom he met at Weber State, created a scholarship for students willing to travel to third world countries for service-driven experiences. According to Weber State Associate Provost Brenda Marstella Kowaleski, Brody and Jennifer's donation to the Weber State Center for Community Engaged Learning almost 10 years ago was the catalyst for establishing community engaged learning experiences all over the globe for WSU students, including Peru, Ghana, Fiji, Kenya, and more. The funding supports students who did not have the financial means to travel abroad to participate in community engaged learning. Since Brody and Jennifer's first donation, WSU has been able to facilitate at least one global community engaged learning trip a year, every year for the last 10 years, with an average of 30 students participating on each trip. The return on Brody and Jennifer's investment in global community engaged learning at Weber State truly cannot be quantified. Hundreds of students' lives have been transformed through the global experiences supported by Brody and Jennifer. I am pleased to present to you our commencement speaker for 2023, Brody Barnes.
Thank you, Dean Farrow, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and for the honor in speaking today. As you can tell, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm loving the creativity you took today, and you all look wonderful. And I want to say congratulations to the 2023 Weber State University graduates. College is officially over. Let me say that again. College is officially over. There you go. I'm proud of you. So is everybody here. It's a bit surprising to me that I was in your position 20 years ago, and I hope today to give you some guidance that will help you in your next chapter of life. Graduates, going forward, I will refer to you as leaders. I don't care if you have a leadership role in your job or in your community. I cannot emphasize enough that you are leading the next generation, and they will be watching your actions, what you post on social media, your work ethic, how you treat others, etc. I will refer to you as leaders because our community and our country needs good leaders so badly. Leadership takes courage, and I believe all of you will gain courage as you put yourself out there and give it your best. Today, I will focus on 4 fundamentals that will help you in your career. First, remember how important your community is, and seek opportunities to serve. Professionally, I work in medical device sales, as mentioned, for the world's largest medical device company called Medtronic. Medtronic has over 100,000 employees and technology in nearly every operating room in the world. I'm in the operating room regularly as nurses and surgeons are saving people's lives, and I find them to be heroes in our community. Our lives are protected and improved by teachers, firemen, policemen, and veterans. I'd like to express a special thank you to those often classified as blue-collar workers. They should be called gold-collar workers, in my opinion, for the importance they provide our communities. And today I have a special opportunity to remember my community. Sitting next to me is Mrs. Judy Akeda. She was my second grade teacher, and at a young age, she made a big difference in my life due to her kind, positive attitude and her words of inspiration that made me feel loved and appreciated. Just a couple years after her being my teacher, a traumatic experience impacted our family. The kindness and support Mrs. Ikeda showed me while being my teacher helped my confidence to move forward with a positive attitude, and nearly 35 years after being my teacher, I still feel her positive attitude and kind, loving soul, and helps me to strive to be a better person every day. I could not believe it when I called Country View Elementary School recently to identify where Mrs. Ikeda was. And they told me that at 79 years old, she still substitute teaches 3 days a week. I'd like Mrs. Ikeda to be a representation of the special community of people that have helped you to get to where you are today, and present her with a gift of my gratitude. Again, please help me in a round of applause for Mrs. Judy Ikeda. While Mrs. Ikeda may be short in stature, I promise you she is a giant among us all and has impacted thousands of people in our community. Since my time as a student at Weber State, much has changed. We had online classes while I was a student, but the internet has grown far more powerful. We went through a 20-year war and then got involved in another one. Social media came online, and oh yeah, there was a pandemic. Wow, so much has happened, and I promise you so much more over the next 20 years will happen. That is why it's important for you to be such a good example in your community. Be someone people can trust. Help others, and in turn, you will grow character, and opportunities will come your way. The second fundamental is to continue your education, but leverage it to meet new people and leaders. You may be wondering if you should get a master's degree in the future, get certificates in certain specialties, do more internships, create a side company. I recommend you consider all of it for the following reasons. One, you never know when you're going to need it. My mom had the courage to go back to Weber State at the age of 35 years old. Thank goodness she did, because shortly thereafter, when that tragedy impacted our family, her degree allowed our family to not only survive, but to thrive as she grew in her career. Second, use more education as an opportunity to meet new people and leaders. I love that nearly all major universities in the country now offer specialized certificates. Don't have the perception that one book, or one podcast, or one certificate, or one internship will change your life. But just try and learn 2 important new skill sets with each, and more importantly, leverage what you are learning to meet new leaders and people within your organization, within your community. Tell them what you're learning. Ask them if that's how your company does it. And it gives you an opportunity to meet them, and they'll be impressed that you're continuing your education, and they'll want to help you. The third of 4 fundamentals is to seek out and ask for mentorship. Let me be clear. There is no such thing as a self-made millionaire. There is no such thing as a self-made billionaire or self-made anything. You will need a team around you. As Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath once said, life is the ultimate team sport. Mentors can change your life. They have been through the grind, they've failed, they've won, and if you follow fundamentals 1 and 2, they will agree to be your mentors. An example of how a mentor has impacted my life happened several years ago while my family was living in the state of Washington. At the time, I was highly frustrated. The ambitious side of me felt like I was hitting a wall. You will have many experiences like this in your life, and I encourage you to accept that frustration and take action. Because I was hitting that wall, I made a small list of potential mentors that might be able to help me expand my experience in real estate development. I created a small criteria for what a mentor might look like. It included someone that was tried and true in real estate development, someone older than me, someone that would be open about their failures, and that I could learn from. Lastly, they had the time to mentor me. The first person on the list his name is Ray, who's here in the audience today. At the time, Ray and I had not spoken in over 30 years. His son and I used to ride 4-wheelers on the field of Roy, as in Roy, Utah, where they used to have fields. But I knew he had been successful in what I wanted to do, and I knew he would at least recognize my name. It took courage, but I called him with a lot of nervousness. He asked how I had been, what I was up to, and then gave me a more detailed story of his life and how at a very young age he was required to go work full-time because of family dynamics happening in his home. That work ethic built him to be a highly successful person, and more importantly, it built him to be a loving father, husband, and grandpa. This is the important part. I told Ray that I didn't want to partner with him. I told him I didn't want money, but I was just hoping he could give me 1 hour a month for a year if I'd agree to fly to Utah to meet with him, and he agreed. On my first visit to his home in Eden, I didn't even make it in the front door. He said, "Brody, jump in the truck." He then drove me around northern Utah. I was expecting to be with him for an hour. He drove me around northern Utah for 4 hours and showed me many different types of real estate development he had done over the years. He listened to my goal of wanting to give my employer my full attention while also developing some real estate. He showed me the type of development I should do. He then got very serious and he said, "Brody, the team I will introduce you to complete this project will not want to work with you because you're new. But they will work with you if I ask them to, and you must promise to complete this development." I agreed, and then over the next 6 months, I flew to Utah many times, and we worked with his recommended team to find the land, create the project, and a year and a half later, the development was complete. I continue to use that same team today. That again is the difference a mentor can make in your life. But again, I want to reiterate that I only asked him for advice and guidance. On this journey, Ray became a dear friend, and I will forever continue to give back as a mentor in his honor and all the others that have helped me in my life. You may be thinking this is a case of, well, it's all about who you know and not what you know. That statement is not totally accurate. It's a good idea to surround yourself with great people, and I continue to strive to do that today. But people will only want to help you if they can trust you, believe in you, and want to help you. Strive to be that person, and mentors will open up doors for your life. So how do you find mentors like this? First, as mentioned, strive to be someone people can trust, believe in, and want to help. Second, be genuine and not misleading. Third, put yourself in places to meet new people through volunteering, coaching, or extracurricular activities that your community or company has. Fourth, and most importantly, take action on what the mentors tell you and show genuine appreciation and follow up. But to be clear, mentors will usually not come to you. You need to seek after them and ask for their help, and that's okay to do. But remember this, not all experts or mentors are created equal. Let me tell you a story about my son Boston to explain. When he was 10 years old, he got extremely ill. Until this point, he had been highly active in sports and very healthy. Boston was misdiagnosed by multiple doctors over the course of a week as having a severe flu. I ended up carrying him into the emergency room in the middle of the night. There, the doctors did a simple blood test and found out that Boston had type 1 diabetes. Boston's life changed immediately. Had Boston not gone to the ER when he did, his life could have been in jeopardy. What Boston needed was an expert in the field of diabetes, so the ER put him in an ambulance and took him to the children's hospital. The same will be for you. Strive to find experts in specific fields that can help you level up your life. This might be in your career, financial accounting, your relationships with other people, etc. Experts make all the difference. The fourth fundamental, and my final, if you're counting down to when I'm going to be done. The fourth fundamental is sacrifice. In mentoring many Weber State students over the years, I'm often a little concerned how resistant some are to sacrifice. They want better careers, but they want it to fit into a nice little box. That is not how it works. I'm convinced that in America, anyone can see that they are willing to sacrifice. This might include more education, more volunteering, more internships, or potentially moving. I absolutely love and am passionate about living in Utah. While my wife and I were raised in Utah, we have lived in 5 states together, taking opportunities for my career, but also by choice to live in great places and meet new people. So let me emphasize, the world has never been more full of opportunities, and it's also never been so competitive. With the technology changes that are here now and coming down the pipe, we will continue to be a global economy, which will provide more and more opportunity for you to thrive if you'll take advantage of it. Sacrificing and possibly leaving the state for just a couple of years can be a fast way to start and catapult your career, and and then you can return home if you want. Leaders, we've come to the end of my 4 fundamentals. In the spirit of what I've shared today, there's a QR code listed in the brochure by my name. I have listed several resources that could help you. I highly recommend the book titled, it's called Work for a Reason. The mental attitude of that book is powerful and in high demand in today's economy. Also, there is a board game listed that is outstanding for better understanding savings, investing, and learning how to thrive financially in today's economy. Many of the books listed have conflicting views. I did that deliberately because it's important for you to have multiple opinions to learn from so you can better craft decisions that meet your personal needs. Let me be clear, I know every one of you can thrive, and it's important to me that everyone has access to mentors. I can't help you all, but my contact information is in the QR code, and I want to ensure that everyone feels they have someone rooting for them and is willing to help them. I could potentially help you, but don't contact me yet until you've read some of the books and taken advantage of the many resources I have listed, and then I'd be happy to help you. That will show me that you are willing to take action on what a mentor will give you for advice. Lastly, thank you again for letting me show my appreciation to Mrs. Ikeda. I hope you'll take the opportunity to share your gratitude with those who have helped you here today. Also in that QR code, I've provided a couple of ways for us as a collective group including the audience, to change people's lives this year. There's a link to donate to a scholarship to Weber State in the name of someone who has helped you along your way, or donate to the Wake the World charity that Jennifer and I are part of. Wake is in Boat Wake. Is a boating community that raises funds to provide many resources and also providing boating experience for foster children and wounded warriors and their families. We have been a part of it for years and have seen firsthand the difference the organization can make in a person's life and create the friendships to support foster children and wounded warriors throughout their life. Again, leaders, I am rooting for you. I believe in you, and along with the next generation, I will be watching to see you take action and thrive. I know all of you can make an incredibly positive difference, and we need that. I wish you great luck, and go Wildcats. Woo!